All right, man, peace. So, brothers, I just happened to be watching Inside the NBA last night, and I caught an extremely interesting segment. They had Victor Oladipo, the star guard from the Indiana Pacers, as a guest on their show because Kenny Smith was out. And I caught something right after the little mini segment of what they call EJ's Needle Stat of the Night. And Victor Oladipo was singing, and as they go back, they're going to pan to the panel, which is Shaq, Ernie Johnson, Victor Oladipo, and Charles Barkley. I want you guys to pay very, very close attention to Shaquille O'Neal's face. He's on the left-hand side. I tell you brothers this all the time. A lot of you guys know every player is not preconceived, but what you do have to watch out for is what I tell you, which is monarch athletes, MK Ultra athletes. Meaning what? Super athletes who may have had everything from genetic modification to being put under drug, psychotherapy, electroshock treatment, things of that nature. Super athletes. Once again, I want you to pay very close attention to Shaquille O'Neal's face. Please remember that he is a product of the military-industrial complex. He was stationed overseas in Germany at a military base at the behest of his quote-unquote stepfather, Philip Harrison, who was most likely his first handler. Please pay very close attention to his face.
For EJ's Needle Stat of the Night.
Presented by no one.
What's that? That could only be the musical stylings of Victor Oladipo, who is the reigning two-time champion.
Look at Shaq's face. Shaq is frozen. He's going through a get-out trance right now, and his eyes are not blinking. This is how you know that he's going through what they call an MK Ultra glitch. If you remember, Draymond Green, the star forward of the Golden State Warriors, he went through the same issue a couple of years ago in the post-game press conference after a playoff game, and everyone made a huge deal about it. As I tell you, brothers, incessantly, professional sports is filled with these monarch athletes, and many of the more famous and notable athletes in history have been monarch programmed. Pistol Pete Maravich, O.J. Simpson, Reggie Jackson, possibly Julius Erving, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, certainly LeBron James, Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, Tom Brady, I believe also Joe Montana, etc. But I'll be delving into that topic a little bit more. But once again, look at Shaquille O'Neal's face. I'm going to rewind it back, and you're going to see that his face is going to stay in that same position all the way until they pan away from him, and then when they come back, he's going to be brought back into quote-unquote reality. But he does not blink at all. I'm going to rewind it again.
Champion of...
Presented by no one.
What's that? That could only be the musical stylings of Victor Oladipo, who is the reigning two-time champion of the All-Star Weekend player talent.
Yo, look at Shaq's face. The man is not blinking.
Talent show.
You are talented. I give you a little credit on that. A lot of credit. You're very talented. I mean, you're not a karaoke guy like me, but you can ask. You know they call me old brown eyes, right?
Look at Shaq's face. Yo, it's still in the same position. They panned away, went back to him. It's still in the same position. I bet you Ernie Johnson probably tapped him when they finally went away from the panel, because Ernie Johnson is most likely Shaq's handler right now, as he most likely is also Charles Barkley's handler. Please understand that Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal are known for what? They're known for cross-dressing. They're known for trying to push the envelope when it comes to transgenderism. Shaquille O'Neal is the first person to bring to attention, in regards to the overall mass of the United States, the populace at large, a transgender dance troupe known as the Prancing Elites, who are a group of transsexual or transvestite, meaning cross-dressing young black males from Atlanta, Georgia, who he states, according to him, are great dancers. He's the one who brought them into prominence and gave them their initial attention. He was most likely told to do so to advance the cause of transgenderism and also transsexualism and being a transvestite. Yo, I still can't get over this dude's face, man. This is hilarious.
As a matter of fact, you both have experience singing New York, New York.
Look at Shaq's face. This man's face is still frozen.
His was at the slam dunk contest. Yours was in Vegas.
Yes.
We had the show out there. Here's just a little sampling.
Still no blinking from Shaq.
York, I need your help.
I like it. Okay, kid. And this kid can really sing, by the way, too. Oh, he can sing. He's trying to get a record deal.
I'm leaving today.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay, Riri likes it.
To be a part of it. New York, New York.
Oh, okay. I'm not mad at you.
Up, Nicki Minaj licking her lips. She wants some Victor Oladipo. Nicki Minaj and Rihanna are a couple of monarch butterflies. They're beta programmed. As I told you, brothers, in a previous video, while these starlets are gaining their fame and distracting the public and being used as pawns for social engineering, when you have someone like Nicki Minaj who's in her twilight, they're already prepping her replacement. Now you have Cardi B. As Cardi B is going through her process of superstardom, they're already prepping her replacement. What does that mean? There's a young female somewhere who's being put through electroshock therapy, who's being fed LSD, who's being forced to be sleep deprived, who's being put under certain amounts of torture so that her conscious mind can be split into alters. And each alter is going to be programmed with what they call a multiple, meaning a personality multiple that they can call up utilizing a trigger, whether it be a symbol, a keyword, a phrase, or what have you. That's truly what it's all about. You're looking mostly at flesh and blood androids in the entertainment industry.
I'm not mad
Let's go,
at
y'all. Everybody get out your seats. Let's go.
Okay.
You better turn it out. Let's go.
Start spreading the news.
Let me just rewind it back really quick for a moment.
Oh, okay.
And you see her there at this time. Nicki Minaj was still with quote-unquote Meek Mill, the Luciferian pawn and the sex toy for a lot of these elite sports owners. That's why they fed over him so much. A lot of people saying that he's a clone. I'm not sure whether he's a clone or not. I doubt if he's a clone. He most likely was just put under a deeper level of programming while he was locked up. Or he could be a clone. Who knows? I mean, it really doesn't matter, brothers, because once they sign these contracts, they have no soul anyway. They're done. They can be taken out whenever that faction chooses to take them out in order to satiate their god, that being Lucifer, Pan, Bacchus, Dionysus, whatever you want to call that entity. That is who they venerate. That's who they worship. Okay? So these people are all privy to the understanding that their lives can be ended at any moment. Listen to Nicki Minaj's intro on Kanye West's album, which I thought was his best album, Dark Twisted Fantasy. Listen to her intro on the title song, Dark Twisted Fantasy. She's telling you about what they're a part of. Remember, she says something like, you think you know about it, but you really don't. The real thing is far more gruesome, or it's far more vicious, something along those lines. I have to go over that song one day. But what she was talking about are the people who think that they understand the craft, but they really don't. Because most people refer to the genesis of the quote-unquote Illuminati as dating back to 1776. And what she was telling you on that album was that they take it back all the way to Kemet/Babylon, which is where you had the rise of Cush and Nimrod. Okay, those are the forefathers of what they believe in, what they adhere to today. And one of the core tenets of that belief system is blood sacrifice. That's what it's about.
Hey, I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. Let's go.
Now you see Spike Lee there. He's signaling because he knows that the camera's on him. He has his forefinger to his temple. He's telling you that he's in the know. He's deep into the Kabbalah and female goddess worship as well. That's the only reason why he's married to that female that he's married to. And he's a pansexual, allegedly.
Let's go. Okay. You better turn it out. Let's go.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it in old New York.
Now look at that hand sign that Chuck is throwing up. You see that right there? He's throwing up the yoni, the so-called OK sign. Charles Barkley is a pansexual as well. All these people are pansexuals. It's just that there are certain members of the craft, of that sphere, who are tired of hiding. People like Janelle Monáe, and everybody makes a big deal because Janelle Monáe came on and said that she's a pansexual. I told you brothers about this months ago. All these people are pansexuals. All of them. All of them on television are pansexuals and venerate the quote-unquote Baphomet. the hermaphrodite god. Please understand that term hermaphrodite. It comes from the ancient god Hermaphroditus, who was what? The son of Hermes and Aphrodite. Who is that? Hermes is Cush. Hermaphroditus is talking about Nimrod. Okay? Because Nimrod brought together the masculine principle and the feminine principle. You got a lot of these lame, Afrocentric, pro-black dudes who always want to talk about, well, the European model for religion. I reject that because it's about being a faggot, and they only want to give you the masculine side, not the feminine. Notice, these guys, these so-called pro-black dudes, they never talk that shit to actual people from Africa because they know that actual Africans will reject that bullshit. They don't want to hear what none of these bugged out so-called Afrocentric black American dudes, these fake pro-black dudes are talking about, because they know it's gibberish. It's pure gibberish. And when you go over to actual Africa and most lands where so-called dark-skinned people are from, they will tell you that their culture is about patriarchy because that's how you have order. But these little silly Negroes, these pro-black Negroes, let me specify, these liberal pro-black Negroes here in America are so broken down from what the higher levels of this society have mistaught them that they're willing to go along with anything as long as they can just maintain the power structure of their mother over them. That's how broken down the average liberal pro-black male is here in America. But just getting back to the point, Charles Barkley, Shaq, they're both part of the craft. They're both high-level quote-unquote Masons, i.e. Luciferians. And they know what time it is, period. That's why they get feted. That's why they get exalted on television in the way that they do. Now pay very close attention to Shaq's face. He's still doing the same pose. He's still in the Twilight Zone. He's still in the sunken place, never to be found again. Somebody's going to have to get a teacup with a spoon in it, or maybe a flash of camera in his face to wake his ass up. Once again, brothers, you have no idea how insidious what it actually is that is going on in the quote-unquote sports world and the entertainment industry. Oladipo probably is not aware of it yet because he has not risen high enough in the sports world to be told exactly what it is that he's a part of. But he's going to find out soon enough if he continues to excel at the level that he is. But please pay very close attention to Shaq's face. Now we're going on in real time, probably about a minute or so, where he has not blinked and he's looking straight ahead into the camera.
I love to do karaoke. That's good, isn't it?
You see those two mics back there?
You made up your own words.
You see?
Shaq still frozen.
You see those?
Wait, that was the words.
In old New York?
Yeah.
The long-awaited duet, Victor Oladipo, Charles Barkley, New York.
Now Shaq has finally woke up. He finally woke up. Look at that. I'm going to rewind it all the way back from the start again.